Hey folks, this is Mark again with Family Fun Scuba and Snorkel, and today I wanted to talk to you about a few things that are really easy and inexpensive to do to improve your diving experiences. Whether you own your own mast snorkel or fins or have a complete scuba setup, these are some great things just to have. And like I said, super inexpensive, super easy. First and foremost, when dealing with all of our scuba gear, from a dive knife all the way to our snorkel, we have to remember that it is life support. So we have to take care of it. It's not one of those things where you want to look over your glasses and check it out. You need to take care of it each and every dive, pre-dive, post-dive, dive, take care of it, take care of it, take care of it. So here's a few little hints for you of things that you can do after every dive. First and foremost, most of us know that you want to rinse everything off with fresh water after you get done diving. Fresh water will get either chlorine and or salt water and or fresh water that has funk and debris and any kind of turbulent in it that'll just wash that off and get rid of it. Also remember to what we always say is, with all of our gear, anywhere where there's something elastic or there's a hole, it has to be rinsed out. So your first stage, your second stage, your octo, just every little tiny hole that you can find, any little place, rinse it out, rinse it out, rinse it out. So working with that, let's talk about cleaning our gear a little bit. One of the easiest and cheapest ways that you can clean your gear really well is organic baby shampoo. One, doesn't sting the eyes, so if you get it in the mask or use it as a defogger, which some people do, then no big deal, no tears. Number two, with it being organic, it's going to be reef friendly, and that's a huge priority, not only to the scuba community, but to our planet as a whole. Our reefs are definitely under attack and are damaged worldwide, definitely an epidemic. So you can clean the inside of your BCD with it, you can clean your mask, you can clean almost anything with organic baby shampoo. So that's an easy way to do that. Number two I'd like to talk about is using just a little bit of organic beeswax on your seals and your zippers and stuff, whether you're dry suit diving or wet suit diving. This will just keep it easy to zip them up and unzip them really, really simple. And again, stay with organic. Number three, mark all your gear, whether you're using waterproof stickers or a bio-friendly nail polish or what have you. Make sure you mark it. Too many times when people are getting onto a boat after a dive, or sometimes even before a dive, you'll see all kinds of fins all over the place and gear, and sometimes clearly people have the same gear. It's easy to mix up, so make sure your gear is clearly marked. Next, I'd like to talk about a toothbrush. Something as simple as that. What I do is, in my kit, I leave an old toothbrush of mine in there. It's probably 5 years old. After it lost its worth as a toothbrush, what I did is I just stuck it in my gear, and then I can clean out my snorkel, I can clean out the edges of my mask, I can clean sand out of the mouthpiece of my regulator. So a really neat tool to have that costs you nothing because you've already paid for it. So a really neat tool to be able to clean out everything. There's nothing worse than pulling out your snorkel for a vacation and seeing white mold marks in it, let alone, heaven forbid, black mold. Then you're like, oh, I gotta put this in bleach water. Well, that's horrible for that stuff. Yes, it'll kill the mold, but horrible for it. So make sure pre-dive and post-dive you're cleaning your gear out with a toothbrush. One that's overlooked sometimes is a good gear bag. You want to get a gear bag that, one, is really rugged, that's rubber coated, and me personally, I like the ones with wheels because I can just take a load off and wheel it behind me. You can have the ones that have wheels and shoulder straps, so you can do it either or. But just to carry it with a hand, the old gym bag style, that just gets tiring, especially after the dive when everything is weighted down with water. So we really prefer that. And with the mesh bags, a lot of times at dive sites when you get off the boat, They'll have a dunk tank, so you can dunk your gear all at once. Of course, making sure that things that aren't supposed to have water in them, like your first stage, are sealed up tightly. And you can give it just a nice big dunk in and out, in and out, and just get the general salt or funk or whatever that was in the water off your gear. And then, of course, detail it a little bit later on. Another great thing about a gear bag is it keeps all your stuff in one place. Too often people misplace stuff, it falls out, you lose it. So it keeps everything in a place. I like gear bags that have an external pocket or two, or even an internal pocket, because then I can put my small pieces of gear in there. Also, with a gear bag, it is a sunblock. Sun is definitely a killer of neoprene, let alone most scuba gear. So the more you can keep it out of the sun, better it is. So absolutely great for that. Also, having your gear in a bag, it's an easy place to store a small save a dive kit, which are irreplaceable. And inside that save dive kit, you may wish to put a couple of things. A toothpick, a plastic toothpick is great for pulling out O-rings if they're bad and replacing them. Of course, you want spare O-rings in there as well. But we'll go through a total list of a save a dive kit in another video and tell you what an easy way to do that would be. Now, your mask. A lot of people have a soft mask cover carrier, and some people use the original container in which the mask came in, which is usually hard plastic and just slightly larger than the mask. Here's a great hint. Drill about 8 holes in the top, and if you wish, if you don't do beach diving all the time and leave it there so sand can come up into it, put 1 hole dead center in the bottom. This will allow the air to move in and out, let the water go out, so on and so forth. Now, if the bottom of the mask box is convex, then you probably want to put holes in the opposite corner so it drains off and goes out. So great way to take care of that. When you take your bag and you're at wherever you're going to be, don't leave it in a place where, one, it can get sand shoved in through the mesh, or just sit there and soak in its own water. I like the rubber floor mats. They're really inexpensive. You can get them anywhere from Home Depot to Harbor Freight, and those have the holes in them so that it's holed all over the bottoms, so the water can drain out and go through that. So that'll allow for, again, aeration and drainage. Last but not least, another cool thing to put in your to have around for your kit is a little bit of steel wool. If you don't have a titanium knife, you have a steel or a stainless steel. Stainless, it's gonna rust sooner or later. So steel wool, great. It's awesome to keep the rust off of it. You can also get stainless steel wool too for your stainless steel items that you wish to clean. Oh, forgot one. Silica gel packs. If you've got your computer, your regs, or what have you, camera, it's great just to put in a few of those silica gel packs. They'll suck up all the extra moisture and take it out of there. We always do that when we store stuff or when I travel. Those are always in there. So there you go, gang. There's some really cheap and inexpensive ways that you can help your scuba kit stay as good as it can. Again, remember, it's life support, and we have to take care of it. We wouldn't want to do things halfway on an operating table. So let's take care of that gear. Now, if you have an issue that is beyond your knowledge or expertise, please bring it in to your closest dealer. We deal in a variety of different regulators, BCDs, computers, including Scuba Pro, Cressy, and some others. So feel free to bring that by, and at very least we can just give you an analysis and tell you what needs to be done. Again, this is Mark. I'm an IDC staff instructor for PADI. We are located at 1841 Grand Ave, Billings, Montana, 59102. You can reach us at info@familyfunscuba.com or call 406-860-2590. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, and as always, pool's open. Take care.